Good morning, friends. I am out here in the garden, and I thought that since we've moved, I'd go ahead and give you a tour of the 2021 container garden. So if you remember, we decided to do a container garden because we were going to be moving and we would never see any of our plants to harvest if we planted in the ground. So we did do the containers. We have about 50 containers out here with plants and fruit trees. We have found that they are challenging. They require a lot of water because the pots dry out really quickly, and we'll have wilting plants by the end of the day some days. The nice thing is I haven't had a weed at all this year, so that's kind of a perk. So let me go ahead and show you what we've got going on in the 2021 container garden. So right over here we have our tomatoes in this corner back here. Our tomatoes are doing really well. We have lots of green tomatoes. We haven't harvested any of these larger tomatoes as of yet. Just lots of green tomatoes, but every plant has a good number of green tomatoes on them. We've had a few problems with insects. We've had some tomatoes that have gotten bored into already with insects that we've removed from the plants. We are trying to learn how to do better with the insects, dealing with those in the organic garden. I find insects to be the most frustrating part of gardening. It just seem like they're really difficult to conquer and to do so without insecticides. But I'm trying to learn. I still don't know the best methods for that, but we are trying to give it a go. Right here we have our grapes. These grapes were planted last year, and if you notice there's another one there at the far end. I also have one more right here. Philip actually dug these up out of the greenhouse so that we could bring them with us. We have not harvested any grapes yet. This is our second year having these plants, so maybe this year we'll get grapes. I love gladiolas, and Philip planted some for me. They don't actually grow very well here in Florida because of the heat, but we did get flowers last year, so hopefully this year I'll get some flowers as well. Philip dug them up and brought them with us. This is one of my zucchinis, and this one has yet to harvest any zucchini. I finally have one tiny little baby zucchini on there. This plant had all male flowers, and so I wasn't getting any zucchini at all, just lots of flowers. And I knew that it was a gender issue with the flowers, I just didn't know which was which, so I figured that out. But finally we have a baby zucchini. So this zucchini has done the best of all of the zucchinis I have. It's the only one I've gotten any fruit off of so far. Now, zucchini blossoms have a gender. So this blossom right here is a male flower, and I can tell by the stamen in the center, by the way that it looks. So this zucchini will not yield any fruit. It's there for fertilization only. You can eat the flowers. I never have, but you can. Now I do have a little young zucchini right there. That one's not looking so hot, a little yellow there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. There is one other zucchini on this plant, right back in here, down in there, that's starting to get a little bit bigger. So we should have zucchini soon. There's a couple other little tiny ones on here, so we should be having some zucchini in the very near future. So these are my pepper plants, and they are doing really well. We got those 6 peppers from them already. Have a few small peppers right now. Look right there, we've got a couple of small ones that are growing, and I noticed a little itty baby pepper right here. So there's going to be a few. We are having some insect damage on these as well, which insects are the most frustrating part of gardening to me. But so far, so good. These are the green beans, and we plant bush beans. We don't really care for pole beans. They have that string in them that's not very good. So we prefer this better. We are starting to get some flowers on the green beans. You can see a flower right here. And I just noticed there's a little itty bitty green bean right there. So that is the first one I've seen. We are starting to get some. Bush beans are supposed to do really good in container gardens. They've had some problems with their coloring. We've given them some fertilizer. I've got some eggshell in there to try to give them a little bit more nutrients. So we'll see how they do. I'm hoping to get quite a few. I love fresh green beans, and I hope they do well. These are our cantaloupe, and they don't seem to be doing much at all, but they're still here trying. I do have a little observer today watching me film our garden tour. So we have several fruit trees here in the garden. This, I believe, is the persimmon tree. We did have some persimmons on it before we moved, but I am not finding them now. They kind of seem like they grow on the underside of the tree, so I'm not sure if they got dislodged in the move. But this is actually a tree that we're going to plant for our neighbor, Robert, in Kentucky. He passed away last year, and he was a real blessing to us, and so this plant is going to be planted in his memory up in the property in Kentucky on Kowalski Mountain. There are peanuts in the bottom of some of these pots. They have actually really helped keep the pots a little bit more moist by holding the moisture in. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that we harvested some potatoes that we dug up off the house here in Florida, that they were planted in the ground. This pot does have potatoes inside of this, so we're hoping to get some potatoes from this as well. Now these are berries, and I think they're blackberries. We have blackberries and raspberries, but I believe these are the blackberries. This is one of the cucumbers that we have, and you can tell we're getting some insects damage. Just a few cucumbers. We've harvested a couple this year already. We got one here, and I thought I saw another one. Got a flower, so that's always a good sign that there's going to be more soon in the future. They seem to be doing pretty good in the pots. They do require a lot of water. This is the other cucumber plant, and it's doing really well. You can see that it has tons of blossoms. That's always a good sign. I love to see that. I've got one little cucumber here, and I thought there was another. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, here we go. Here's a larger one. It's a little misshapen. I really think this is a water issue, that it's not getting consistent water. That's something I want to research a little bit more to find out. But as I said, these pots dry out so quickly that they'll be dry by the end of the day. Here's another little one that's not looking so good, actually. So we'll see what happens with that. But lots of flowers. So lots of exciting opportunity for more cucumbers in our future. So here's kind of just a complete view of this little section. We do keep this fenced because there are a lot of chickens here. There's over 30 chickens that are in this yard, so they really like our garden. So we had to fence it in to keep them away and keep our vegetables safe. Now we do have a few more things over here, so let's go see what we've got. I have a couple of pineapples that are looking so-so. We'll see how they do. I do have a couple fruit trees here. This first one is a peach, and there are no blossoms on that right now. This one is also a peach, and they're not blossoming. This is a peach as well, and that one's just finally starting to get a few leaves. And this one is a pear. Got a few of these little tiny cherry tomatoes right here. I love these for snacking and of course on salad. And then our bees are all right there. So these are our strawberries that we transplanted over here, and they've done the transplant really well, so that's good. These plants are from last year. They're an evergreen, I forget the term for it, but they come back year after year, and they've done really well. Of course, here in Florida, they don't actually die back. They just keep on going through the year. I was trying to find a strawberry, and I'm not seeing one. Oh, there's some right there. Some little strawberries right up there. So we don't usually get much, just enough to snack on, which is always good. Now I do have my herbs right here. I've got some sage and parsley and rosemary. Right here we have some apple trees and some blackberries in the pots. There is a little remnant of some blossoms left here. No full blossoms at this point. And then there are some apples right up here. Let's see if I can get that out in the sun. Right there. So that's pretty exciting to see that. And these are doing really well to be fruiting, so that's great. Well, thanks for joining me on this 2021 container garden tour. I hope you've enjoyed it. We are enjoying getting to get out and get in the dirt and harvest a little bit of vegetables. It's not the same as the big gardens we've done the last couple of years, but we are at least enjoying it and some fresh vegetables along the way. Have a great day.